What if I told you the man who wrote Alice in Wonderland might be someone the police would want to talk to today? Welcome back to Norframe. Today we're digging into a figure whose legacy is a mess of contradictions. Was he a literary genius, or is his story something much darker? We're talking about Lewis Carroll, or rather, the man hiding behind the name. His real name was Charles Dodgson, and honestly, you could make him up. He was a serious, stuttering math professor at Oxford, and also an ordained church deacon who'd promised to never marry. This is the guy who wrote gigantic papers, and also one of the weirdest, most imaginative children's books ever. But here's the first big twist. Around adults, he's awkward, nervous. His lectures were famously boring, but with kids, he was a different person. Charming, relaxed, a natural born storyteller. To some people, even back then, that switch was suspicious. Was the shy professor the real act? Was the playful Lewis Carroll a mask for something else? Now, let's be fair. In the Victorian era, it was more common for adults to have innocent, close friendships with children. Maybe he just felt kids were less judgmental. Maybe it was his way of coping. But this split personality, Charles the professor versus Lewis the storyteller, is the heart of the mystery that still follows him. And it all comes to a head with his hobby: photography. This was the 1860s. Photography was brand new, expensive, and treated as high art. Dodgson was a pioneer. He took thousands of photos, and many were of children, including his famous muse, Alice Liddell. When we see these pictures now, some feel deeply uncomfortable. The poses, the costumes, it hits us wrong. Take this one. It's often called proof of something sinister, but look closer. It's a costume, turned fabric, not nudity. To the Victorians, this wasn't creepy, it was art. They were obsessed with showing childhood as a time of pure innocence, often through these highly staged symbolic scenes. What we see as a red flag, they saw as serious photography. But the rumors didn't care about context. As the 20th century began, people started rereading Alice with the new theories of psychology. Suddenly, everything, the shrinking, the growing, the rabbit hole, was a sexual metaphor. The complex artist was flattened into a simple monster, a man obsessed with little girls. Then, it got ridiculous. The best place to find the answers we crave would be his diaries. Dodgson kept a meticulous journal, 13 thick volumes in all, recording his daily life, his thoughts, his feelings, but right during the most crucial period of his life, when his relationship with the little family and Alice was at its closest, for complete pages were turned out of his journal. Who tore them out? We simply don't know. Some say it was his family trying to protect his posthumous reputation. Others claim they contain facts too damaging to ever be known by posterity. These 4 pages, cleanly ripped away, became a void that historians can never fill, and they remain the darkest, most enduring mystery at the heart of the Lewis Carroll story. The wildest theories claim he was Jack the Ripper. The proof? He lived in the area, liked puzzles, and maybe read a medical book. People have twisted words from Alice into insane anagrams to try and prove it. It's a classic case of ignoring all the facts to tell a scary story. And those scary stories, they're what most people remember. But let's hit pause on the scandal, because the real origin story of Alice in Wonderland is the simplest, strongest argument against the darkness. It was a sunny afternoon, July 4th, 1862. Dodgson was on a boat with 3 little girls, one named Alice Liddell. To pass the time, he made up a story on the spot about a girl falling down a rabbit hole. It was just a silly story for kids on a lazy day. Alice loved it so much she begged him to write it down. He did, creating a special handwritten book just for her, Alice's Adventures Underground. Later, he decided to publish it. Worried about his serious reputation, he created a pen name. He scrambled his real name, Charles Lutwidge, and got Lewis Carroll. He wanted to keep his 2 worlds separate, and it didn't work. Now, about Alice. The darkest rumor says he once thought about proposing to her when she was still a child. We have no solid proof of his private feelings. It's a historical gray area that makes our modern skin crawl, but we can't know for sure. Here's what we do know for a fact. Years later, Alice Liddell was an old woman. World War I had taken her husband and 2 sons. She was broke, To survive, she sold that original handwritten manuscript, the one Charles Dodgson made just for her as a gift from a story on a river. It sold for a fortune. That book burned from a simple, innocent moment and later buried under a mountain of dark rumors. Is what saved Alice Liddell's life. So, where does that leave us? Lewis Carroll was a Victorian man, a walking contradiction, a brilliant, shy, artistic, possibly very lonely person. His close friendships with children were normal for his time, but look alarming in ours. The mystery sticks around because it's a mirror. It's easier for us to project our own fears onto the past, to see a monster, than to accept a messy, complicated truth about a flawed human being from a totally different world. What do you think? Can we ever understand someone like Carol without judging him by our 21st century rules? Or should we always use today's morals to look at history? Let us know in the comments, and if you found yourself falling down this rabbit hole with us, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more deep dives into history's biggest mysteries. And that's it for today. See you on the next one. Bye!